Welcome back, everyone, to Ferris Sports Update. We'll talk Bulldog Athletics now, and with us, Athletic Director Perk Weisenburger. Perk, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rob. Good to be here.
I know it's been a busy fall. It was a hectic summer as well. Bulldog hockey capped off the summer, finding a new home, and talk about how important that was to get a new home for Ferris State hockey.
Oh, a lot of unrest, I think, in the ranks of intercollegiate hockey, and rightfully so, with the Big Ten forming Big Ten hockey and the new league coming together. We needed to find a place where the Division II programs that played D1 hockey could reside, and we partnered with a couple of schools from the north and some in Minnesota. And the three best amateur playing states, as I understand it, in the country are Massachusetts, Minnesota, and Michigan. So we're in a league with mainly Michigan and Minnesota teams, so we're looking forward to it, plus the Alaskas. So it was a busy summer, a lot of due diligence and a lot of conversations and trying to figure out the landscape and who's going where. A time when people are not real trusting, just because it's really all in self-interest instead of interest of the collective group. But I think we found a perfect resting spot. We're pretty excited about the future, but we're very excited about the season we're in the middle of right now, because we've got this year and one more year as a member of the CCHA, and we're going to make it the best couple of years for Bulldog fans that we possibly can.
I know you talked about Bulldog hockey off to a great start, ranked in the top 10 in the country. A number of teams this fall have had outstanding campaigns. When you look at women's cross country, finishing 8th in the nation, Bulldog volleyball reaching the regional semifinals. Talk about those performances and how big that is for Ferris State athletics.
Oh, I think it's great for the student athletes, and it's great for the athletic fans and for the institution to get some notoriety on a national level. I mean, you know as well as anyone how hard our coaches work, how dedicated our student athletes are, and sometimes how difficult it can be in the league that we're in, to make inroads and be one of the best teams in the league, let alone one of the top teams regionally in the country as well as in the nation. So with cross country and being able to host the NCAA regional, finishing second, and having a chance to send our team to Spokane, Washington, was really quite an honor. And certainly the same for Tia and her volleyball program, who finished off a 27-4 season and only lost 2 games in the regular season, and undefeated at home during the regular season, and then slipped up a little bit in the GLIAC championship, but got a chance to go to Hillsdale and represent our institution at the NCAA regional. So with those two programs doing extremely well nationally, and Bulldog hockey being ranked, it's been a lot of fun this fall.
I know you talked about the NCAA Division II Cross Country Regional Championships here in Big Rapids. Bulldog volleyball also had a chance to host the GLIAC semifinals and finals. Talk about those opportunities to host those events and how important that is for the community and for the university.
Well, we're always cognizant of the fact of driving fans, keeping our own fans and our student athletes at home when we can. What you want to always do as an intercollegiate athletic department is provide your coaches and your student athletes an opportunity to win a championship and experience the postseason. A cherry on top would be to experience that postseason at home, where you can actually host an event. So when you can do that, I think, one, you give your student athletes a better chance. Less travel, sleep in your own bed, a little bit more familiar surroundings, but you also, we have an economic impact on the local community. That cross-country regional was 23 teams. 23 men's teams, 23 women's teams, 7 kids on each team. A lot of hotel rooms, a lot of convenience store purchases, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of dining. And then the GLIAC volleyball tournament was 4 teams, 6 home football games, a number of hockey games, youth hockey that we bring into the community. So I think we have an obligation there to drive as many people as we can to Big Rapids and keep as many students on the campus as we possibly can over a weekend. So it kind of a dual purpose there, in that we're helping the local community, but we're also giving our student athletes a chance to compete at a higher level and do it in front of their own fans.
One of the highlights of the fall was being able to host the Hall of Fame banquet, returning here to the university this fall, and talk about the Hall of Fame banquet as a whole and how special that was for those inductees.
Well, personally, on a personal note, the Hall of Fame banquet is always one of my favorites. Whatever institution I've been at in my career, I just love the Hall of Fame banquet, just because 99% of the time, those student athletes and former student athletes are they're so humble, gracious, and honored that you really capture the true essence of intercollegiate athletics at an institution of higher learning. And to be able to have that event this year and induct the people that we inducted, we just had a wonderful time. A couple hundred people showed up at the Holiday Inn. It was a Friday night affair. before a home football game, night before a home football game, and we honored 6 individuals and a special service honoree. And to me, it was wonderful. I was able to kind of MC it or host it, if you will, kind of doing what you do best. I don't know why I did it. You should have done it, but it was a thrill for me to be able to do so, and kind of wires me into the tradition, you know, if you will, the sounds and the smells and all that of yesteryear, and to hear these people talk about their times at Ferris State University and what this institution meant to them, have community members come out and relive some of those glory days. It was a warm, good feeling, and we look forward to doing it again next year.
One of the projects that kind of jumps on top of that is the Bulldog Athletic Association, and talk about how critical that is to the success of Ferris State Athletics.
Well, I think more and more it's very critical. A successful and sustaining annual fund where we can rely on donors to contribute annually at a certain dollar amount is key to any athletic department. And I've maintained since my arrival that if we're going to be successful, if we're going to provide the resources to our teams and our coaches and student athletes, then we have to have an annual fund that we can continue to rely on, that will grow. And my goal is to find 1,000 members, you know, who can contribute $250 annually. You know, last year we had 880 members total in the Bulldog Athletic Association, and that does count. If you're in the Blue Line Club or the Gridiron or the Sixth Dog or Rebounders, then you're a member of the Bulldog Athletic Association. Or you can join the Bulldog Athletic Association, designate your money to hockey, football, men's or women's basketball, etc., and support it that way. So we've got a long way to go. We've really just started, but it's an exciting time. It's an exciting venture, and I look forward to the next couple of years of doing putting a lot more emphasis on the development side, so that we can maintain some of these resources and actually you know, provide some better facilities, some better amenities for our student athletes so they can go out and compete.
What's your vision for Ferris State Athletics as you move forward here from the fall into the winter and then into the spring?
Oh, more of a long-term vision is, you know, is to be able to compete on a national level. You want to compete for championships. You want to have a chance to play in an NCAA tournament. I believe that there's no greater thrill for a true competitor to be able to be a part of a team or an individual and compete in the NCAA. You know, we see it with March Madness, we see it during the bowl season and the BCS, and you see it with the College World Series, and I'm talking primarily Division I, but those same levels exist at Division II. The Frozen Four with hockey, etc. To be able to play as a student athlete in an NCAA event, and typically to get there you have to win a championship, which means you probably won a ring or you hoisted a trophy, and I think that's a thrill. And then to go all through the efforts that the student athletes go through, and to be able to represent their institution. So our goal, or my goal, is to continue to find ways to provide resources so that our student athletes are having great experiences, educationally, socially, athletically, but on the culmination of all that would be, you know, to play in an NCAA tournament and say you played against some of the best, and to forge those memories that will last a lifetime.
Well, we appreciate your time, and congratulations on an outstanding fall.
No, thanks. Thanks for the job you do, Rob. You do a great job on the broadcast. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.